All right, let's talk about something that can be a real headache: ITIN expiration. You know that 9-digit number from the IRS? Well, it's not forever, but figuring out why it expires, or even when, can get super confusing. So today, we're going to dive in and decode those rules together.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with a quick refresher on what an ITIN actually is. Then, we'll get into the two big reasons they expire: the 3-year non-use rule and that tricky middle-digit rule. After that, we'll walk through how to renew it, and stick around for the end because we're going to cover a really important exception for when you don't need to renew. Okay, first things first. Let's get on the same page about what an ITIN is and why it even exists. It all boils down to one thing: making tax compliance possible for more people.
So here's the official breakdown. An ITIN, that's Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, is basically a 9-digit number the IRS gives out. You'll always see them start with the number 9. It's specifically for people who have to file U.S. taxes, but for whatever reason aren't eligible to get a Social Security number. Think of it as a key that only opens the door to the tax system, and that's it.
And this is a super important point, so let's be really clear. An ITN is only for federal taxes. It does not let you work in the US, it does not give you any Social Security benefits, it absolutely does not change your immigration status. And you can't really use it as an ID for anything outside of the tax world. Its job is very, very specific: interacting with the IRS.
You know, what's kind of wild is that for a long time, ITINs didn't expire at all. The whole program started back in 1996. But then in 2015, everything changed. A new law called the PATH Act came along and introduced these expiration rules. So that's the reason we're even having this conversation today. It's all because of that one piece of legislation.
All right, let's get into the first way your ITIN can expire. This one is all about what you do, or more accurately, what you don't do. It's tied directly to your tax filing habits.
So the rule is actually pretty straightforward. If you don't use your ITIN on a U.S. federal tax return for 3 years in a row, poof, it expires. It's basically a use it or lose it deal.
Let's just walk through an example. Say you file a tax return 1 year, then the next year you don't. The year after that, you don't file again. And then the 3rd year in a row, you don't file. Once that 3rd year of non-filing is over, on December 31st, your ITN officially expires. It's done.
Okay, so it's really important to get this straight. There are two totally separate paths to an ITN expiring. The one we just talked about is based on your actions. It's behavior-based. But now we're going to look at the second path, which is completely different. It has nothing to do with what you do and everything to do with what's written on a calendar set by law.
So yeah, this second trigger comes straight from that 2015 PATH Act. The whole idea was to systematically phase out older ITINs, and they decided to do it based on the digits in the number itself.
So, how do you know if this is you? Go ahead and grab your ITIN card if you have it. You need to look at the 2 numbers in the middle, the 4th and 5th digits. Okay, ready? If those middle digits are anything from 70 all the way up to 88, your ITIN has expired, period. Now, there's a second group. If your middle digits are 90 through 99, it has also expired, but only if that ITIN was assigned to you before 2013. So yeah, feel free to hit pause and double check your number against this chart.
Okay, so deep breaths. It doesn't matter why your ITIN expired, whether it was because you didn't use it or because of those middle digits. The good news is the fix is the same for both. Let's talk about how to renew it. The process is going to feel pretty familiar if you've applied for one before. First, you'll fill out a Form W-7. Now, here's the most important part. You have to attach a finished federal tax return to that W-7. You can't just send the W-7 by itself. Then you gather up your supporting documents and you send that whole package off to the IRS. So you might be thinking, what's the big deal if I just file with an expired one? Well, the IRS tells you exactly what the big deal is. Right in their instructions, they say it could delay the processing of your tax return. And nobody wants that, right? It might not get flat out rejected, but it's going to get stuck. That's a really practical reason to get this sorted out ahead of time.
Okay, now we've reached what might be the most crucial part of this whole thing. There's a really important and kind of non-obvious exception to all this. Knowing this could save you a whole lot of unnecessary paperwork.
So here's the question. If your ITIN expires, do you always have to renew it? Like no matter what? The answer might actually surprise you.
And the answer is no. You don't always have to renew it immediately. Here's the key exception. If your ITIN is only being used by, say, a bank for reporting purposes on something called an information return, and you yourself are not actually filing a U.S. federal tax return, then you don't need to renew it. The real trigger for renewal is the act of filing your own tax return.
So, what the heck is an information return? Well, the most common one you'll see is a Form W-8BEN. If you're a foreign person with a U.S. bank account, you've probably filled one of these out. It's just for the bank to report information to the IRS. If that's the only reason your ITIN is on file somewhere, you can wait to renew it.
But, and this is a huge but, this is just a delay. It's not a free pass forever. The second your situation changes and you suddenly do need to file a U.S. tax return, that's when you have to renew your ITIN. You'll do it right along with that tax filing.
So there you have it. We've gone through the two different ways an ITIN can expire, how you can bring it back to life, and that really important exception. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Now that you know the rules, what's the status of your ITIN? Is your plan for staying tax compliant totally secure?